Gu Ejin is a modest high school student with a complex about her own appearance, who leads a double life and has 770,000 followers on social networks. When she returns home, she closes herself in her room and sits at her computer for hours, admiring her photos and their popularity. At school, the girl is constantly bullied by several female classmates. Hanel considers Ejin ugly and does not miss an opportunity to make jokes about her, doing it in the most humiliating way possible. When she returns home, Ejin uses makeup, lenses, expensive clothes, and a wig, and then magically transforms into a beauty. Masterfully using photo editors, she transforms from a modest and shy schoolgirl into an internet beauty, dreamed of by thousands of guys, and girls envy her looks en masse. Watching Jin's popularity, the schoolgirl feels delighted, but fears that someday her true identity will be revealed. Communicating in social networks, the girl has made a friend under the name Sky. Ejin's mother constantly wonders why her daughter is sent so many parcels with fashionable clothes and precious jewelry. The schoolgirl doesn't buy them because she is a popular person. Many brands use her face as a cover for their merchandise, so they send things for free and then pay cash. Jin lives only on the internet, and at first many people were scared off by it, but gradually customers got used to it and even started asking the girl to stay away from people, which makes her more mysterious. Afraid to meet anyone, Jin says that she is more and gets stressed being among people. The next morning, Hanel notices an expensive bracelet on Ejin's hand and asks her to try it on. The modest schoolgirl gives the bully the jewelry, realizing that she will easily earn another piece of jewelry, but the girl won't cling to her for a few days. At recess, Ejin goes to the roof, where she meets Sun, the only real friend and student from the parallel class. Sun is also an outcast, but only because he's handsome and is liked by the girls he rejects. The guy compliments Ejin's smile and embarrasses the girl a lot, so she has to convince herself that she is not in love with her best friend. The next day, Sung invites her friend to a new cafe to have lunch. Her mother asks her to stay home, but the girl doesn't like her stepfather much and doesn't want to spend time with her family. Having met, Sung and Ejin have fun together. The friend suggests the girl to register in social networks, but she rejects this idea, not wanting to expose the secret life of the beauty Jin. On the eve of the meeting, the girl faced a problem, because thousands of fans began to believe that she is not real, and all the photos are the result of work with a photo editor. The only way to prove otherwise is to take a photo on the street, but such a shot is really difficult to correct. Afraid of losing popularity, the girl returns to the cafe in a wig and takes a photo, then adjusts it to the standards of appearance of the fictitious Jin. Everything seems to be fine, but at night Ejin is texted by a stranger who saw her in the cafe and knows that the girl is lying, as she looks completely different. The next day, Ejin wakes up because of a nightmare dream and sees that the stranger continues to terrorize her. The frightened girl tries to understand who has been following her and who is this person who dreams of exposing her to the public. Hanel suffers from allergies caused by the bracelet and assumes it is a fake. She attacks Ejin, demanding compensation for the damage, but the girl does not notice the bullies because she is much more concerned about the stranger's messages. In physical education class, the two girls continue to harass Ejin, provoking her into conflict and trying to insult her as much as possible. At one point, she receives a message from the blackmailer again, realizing that he is following her even now. Overexcited, Ejin loses consciousness and falls to the ground. Sleep, who was nearby, comes to the rescue and carries the girl to the medical room. A while later, she wakes up in bed and thanks Sian for his help. The teacher summons Hanil to his office, believing that the bully had clawed or hit Ejin. The girl denies her guilt, but the teacher promises to summon her mother to school if she doesn't apologize to the unfortunate Ejin. Feeling a little better, the girl heads to the roof to meet Sun. He wants his friend to eat well, so he takes away a bun and gives her his lunch. Ejin is pleased by the guy's concern, but at the same time she is horrified to imagine how his attitude towards her will change after the exposure. In the evening, Sung is late for school and decides to walk Ejin home. On the way, the couple talks a lot and enjoys the moon, marveling at its ability to show itself only partially and to open up completely. Sun keeps complimenting the girl, which confuses her more and more. Upon returning home, Ejin learns that people are concerned about the disappearance of the beautiful Jin. Sky defends and supports her internet friend in every possible way, but brand owners demand immediate publication. The girl is afraid to provoke the blackmailer, but she has no choice, otherwise she will have to pay a substantial penalty. Ejin publishes the photos and pleases hundreds of thousands of subscribers, but the blackmailer shows up again and writes her a message. Ejin is in a stupor and panics, and the bullies get to her again. Hanel's friend takes away the schoolgirl's phone, but the quiet girl bites her hand. Hanel defends the unfortunate Ejin, as she doesn't want her mother to be called to school. After receiving a reply, the unknown man offers to meet at the school, and it becomes clear that he also studies here. While waiting to meet the blackmailer in the break room, Ejin meets Sung and assumes it's him. The guy happens to be here by chance, so the girl chases him away. The blackmailer is late, so she has to text him. After noticing through the window that Sung is sitting on a bench and texting someone on his phone, Ejin becomes even more convinced that he is the blackmailer. A few months ago, Ejin transferred to a new school and immediately became an outcast, as she didn't like people and tried to stay away from them. Finding herself on a rooftop, she met and got to know Sun. Scared, the girl dropped her cell phone and was afraid that the guy would see Jin's profile, so she asked him to close his eyes. Thinking back on the story now, Ejin assumes that that's when the guy exposed her. She doesn't understand why Sung only started blackmailing now and sincerely hopes she was wrong, and it's not really him. Ejin waits for the blackmailer until late in the evening when the school security guard sends her home. Sung doesn't leave and waits for the girl to walk her out. On the way, he stops and after hearing mewing, he pulls out some cat food. Revisiting the blackmailer's profile picture, the girl notices a picture of cats, assuming that it is Sung who is the blackmailer after all. Her parents are concerned about the girl's behavior, but she ignores her father and mother, focusing on her own problems. The next morning, Ejin notices that Sung has liked Jin's photos. She assumes that by doing so, he is just messing with her. Meeting the guy at school, the girl finds out about all this. Sung is shocked that a pretty and popular girl on social media paid attention to him. Ejin decides to check if Seong is a blackmailer and sends a message to a stranger, but the guy has his phone taken away by a teacher, so the plan fails. A little later, the blackmailer texts her again during class, which makes her assume that the stranger is in her class. The blackmailer demands that Ejin put on lipstick or else he will expose her as a liar. With no other option, the girl paints her lips with pink lipstick and becomes a laughingstock for the bullies. Haniel and her friend bully Ejin, and it is noticed by Sung. The girl is upset, but an unknown man writes to her, complimenting her on her looks. Being in a difficult psychological state, Ejin thinks about ending her life and goes to the roof, but soon realizes that this is not the best option. The school year is coming to an end, but the blackmailer doesn't leave Ejin alone. He posts a photo of her at a bus stop, after which he sends a few more photo clues, directing the girl. Following the signs, she finds some building and realizes that the blackmailer is here. Frightened, Ejin tries to escape, but a door opens right in front of her nose. A few moments later, it is revealed that the maniac and blackmailer was Kim, the class president and the most popular guy in school, who is an excellent student. He first suspected something amiss a month ago when he was monitoring Jin's profile and saw that she had posted a photo of her in their school uniform. The photo was deleted, but other bloggers took a screenshot of the screen and republished the shot. Kim assumed it was one of the school beauties, but wanted to know which one, so he continued to follow Jin and her postings. A few weeks ago, the school kids turned in their phones before a test paper. Kim noticed that one of the phones was not silent due to the thousands of likes and comments. He guessed that this phone might belong to a very popular girl and decided to find out who the owner was. The guy couldn't believe his eyes, but that day Jin posted a photo and on her finger was the same patch as on Ejin's hand. Thinking that even that was not enough, he kept watching, as suddenly the girl appeared in his favorite calf and changed her clothes using the image of a hottie. Ejin is ready to get on her knees to beg him not to reveal her identity, but Kim is not about to do that. He likes keeping a secret and wants to use it for his own purposes to be special. At the same time, the guy reveals that Sky, who Jin is friends with online, is Hanel. He is interested in the bully girl's reaction to the fact that her idol is a classmate whom she constantly bullies. In addition, Hanel is Kim's girlfriend who is just about to go on a date with him. The guy wonders how they became friends and Jin tells him that it happened a year ago. They were worried about problems with their parents, so they easily found a common language. Jin knew Sky's real name, but forgot it and didn't remember that Hanel was the same person she was chatting with online. The next morning, Kim invites Jin to a new cafe opening tomorrow. He offers her to turn into Jin and take some photos. The girl treats the guy with distrust, so she checks her glasses for a hidden camera. He proves his sincerity by showing a scar on his shoulder, and Jin takes a photo to use it as a reciprocal compromise. A little later, a girl in character as Jin takes a few photos and edits them, promising to publish them in a week so no one will suspect she was in it before the reveal. Kim admires Jin as an internet beauty and even wants to kiss her, but remembers that he has Hanel. In the evening, Sung texts Jin to thank her for the likes and try to get to know her. Noticing that the guy she likes is too pushy, Jin decides to see if he wants adult and inappropriate conversations with an internet hottie, but does so with tears in her eyes. The next morning, Jin defiantly ignores Sian, not answering his calls and refusing to meet up after class. All this because the previous night, Jin offered him a romantic dialogue and the guy succumbed to the provocation like other maniacs who don't think with their heads. He sent her some video after which the girl blocked him after realizing that Sung is no different from other guys. In the evening after school, Sung tries to persuade Jin not to ignore him or act cruel to him, but the girl rejects her best friend again and goes home. Her mother forces her to drink medicine, believing that her daughter is exhausted amidst the stress of her studies. Hanel writes messages to Kim and waits for him outside the house, but the guy constantly ignores his girlfriend, no longer showing interest in her. A little later, Jin goes to the meeting that Sun asked her for, but rudely rejects the guy and insults him. Before she leaves in tears, the guy informs her that he's leaving for another school and won't bother her anymore with his desire to be friends. In the evening, she thinks about turning on the guy's video. Jin assumes that she made a mistake and thought badly of him for nothing, but hesitates to watch the video and discusses the problem with an internet friend, not realizing that Hanel is also very sad right now. The next morning, Sung transfers to another school, but Jin continues to avoid him. Hiding on the roof, the girl finds the guy's favorite drink, a farewell letter, and a box with a gift in the form of a chain with a small pendant. Severely worried, she buys milk tea and cries bitterly, talking to herself. Kim follows the girl and hides nearby, then takes the second can of the drink. Hanel continues to pursue the guy because of her feelings of love, but Kim rejects her as he has fallen in love with the beautiful image of Jin transforming into the sexy Jin. Upon returning home, Hanel works out hard to be even more beautiful and supports her seriously ill mother. Soon she notices a new photo of Kim on the internet and doesn't realize who, where and when it was taken. Jin bursts into the classroom and insults Hanel, telling everyone that she is a beggar and her mother works in a cheap cafe. Upon waking up, the girl realizes that this is a nightmare. Hanel changed her bangs, which Kim did not like, but he again does not pay attention to her. Instead, the guy goes to the roof to have lunch with Jin. The girl tries to reject the guy, but he tries to become her friend, which Hanel notices, jealous of her lover for Jin. Back in class, the girl accidentally drops Hanel's mirror and decides to give her her powder. She has a fancy mirror of a famous brand from the latest collection, which is very expensive. Hanel takes this as an insult and a hint that she is a beggar, so she attacks Jin and pushes her to the floor. The bully taunts and humiliates her classmate, but Kim warns her that a teacher is about to appear in the classroom, which forces Hanel to back off. Angry, a tearful Jin hides in the restroom and dreams of blocking Hanel on the internet so the Sky fan can't communicate with her idol Jin. In that same moment, she remembers how they became friends and were best friends online. Jin transferred to a new school and met a girl. Of course, Hanel didn't recognize her as Jin, but that didn't stop the classmates from becoming friends. In the evening, Jin learned that Hanel was helping her mother work at the cafe, and Hanel learned that the friend was from a rich family and her stepfather owned the building. Jin promised to keep the secret about her mother's job, but the evil friend decided to quarrel them by lying to Haniel about the gossip. This led to conflict between the girls and they stopped being friends. Ajin temporarily deactivates Jin's account to see if she is doing the right thing. Kim rejects Haniel and won't let them take a photo together as she doesn't want anyone to know about their relationship. Ajin observes how people miss Jin and depend on her, but thinks it's better to delete the account altogether because she'll never be as beautiful. In the morning before class, Ajin decides to finish her story as suddenly a new student, Song Mi-jin, appears in class and everyone assumes that she is the popular hottie. Song Mi-jin really wants to pretend to be the hottie Jin so that everyone will believe it's the same person. Haniel doesn't believe the girl's words and thinks she's a fake, and the guys dream of taking pictures with Jin. After class, the girl invites Ejin to her house so they can become friends. A little later, Ejin meets with Kim to discuss the whole situation. The guy offers to renew the account, otherwise everyone will assume that Song Mi-jin is the hottie from the internet. Haniel calls the guy and hears that he is chatting with another girl. Showing jealousy, she rushes to Kim's place and sees the milk tea that doesn't belong to him. In the evening, Ajin meets up with Song Mi-jin and other classmates. Haniel's bully and friend claims that she is not a bad person and has only hurt others on Haniel's orders. Believing that Haniel is a terrible person, Song Mi-jin offers to punish her altogether, but Ejin doesn't like it. She knows that Haniel isn't really a bully and is actually a very nice girl who is afraid of becoming a laughingstock because of her family's financial situation. Not wanting Song Mi-jin to take the place of the internet beauty, Ajin restores the page and makes the photo from the cafe public. Haniel is happy to have her best friend back online, but notices an item belonging to Kim in the photo. Remembering the milk tea and gifts, Haniel begins to suspect that the hottie Jin and classmate Ejin are the same person. The next morning, Song Mi-jin continues to pretend to be the girl from the internet, but Haniel exposes her because the cheater is using a different lipstick. A little later, Haniel persistently contacts the internet girlfriend and asks for a photo. Ejin takes a picture of the bun, but coming down from the roof she meets Haniel, who notices the exact same food in her hand as the one in the photo of pretty Jin. Haniel is very sad for she has a hard and unfair life. Her father dreamed of being a businessman, but made unsuccessful investments and started drinking. Her mother gave all her health to provide for the family and allow her husband to get rich again. He eventually became a businessman but left his wife after meeting a young and beautiful mistress. Haniel realizes that men love beauties and dreams of meeting Kim's expectations. Meanwhile, Song Mi-jin forces the bully to cut her hair like a boy. The girl compliments her and convinces her to experiment, after which the bully becomes the main laughing stock and the object of bullying. Haniel continues to suspect that Jin and Ajin are the same person, so he sends her messages and sees that they come to a classmate's phone. In the evening, Haniel writes to the internet beauty and asks her to never cheat on her, but Ejin finds it hard to do so, even though she doesn't want to lie to her only true friend, even if only within the confines of a social network. The next morning, Haniel sees Ejin and Kim together again, continuing to be jealous of each other. A little later, the girl communicates with Kim to understand why he is spending time with Ejin. The guy excuses himself and says that he was instructed by the teacher to keep an eye on Ejin as the head of the class to make sure no one hurts her. Despite this, Haniel remains suspicious of Ejin and learns that it's not uncommon for girls to change their appearance in photos with the help of an editor. Kim advises her to tell the truth to avoid problems, but Ejin is afraid to confess everything. Trying to make sure her assumptions are correct, Haniel shows a photo of Jin at the cave where she took the photo, but no one recognizes the girl. The next morning, Song Mi-jin and the bully Chu Ji-hee are bullying Haniel because they are no longer friends. Unable to stand it, the girl escapes and goes to another neighborhood to continue her search for Jin or proof that the internet beauty and Ejin are the same girl. Soon, Jin calls her via video link. Kim uses computer technology to model the hottie's face over Ejin's. The plan seems to be working, but a phone call causes the program to malfunction and Ejin nearly exposes herself. In an attempt to get the truth, Haniel ignores her mother's call and continues to call the hottie Jin. Soon after, Haniel gets a call from a doctor asking her to come to the hospital. Once in the ward, the girl realizes that she missed the last opportunity to talk to her mother on the phone, as she fell into eternal sleep. A couple of days later, Hannel buries her mother and feels hard about what happened. Ajin and his family visit the girl to express their support. After that, the schoolgirl lingers to support her classmate in a difficult moment because she knows how painful it is to lose loved ones. In the morning, Ajin has another nightmare, and Hannel misses school. Shujahi believes she is friends with the real Jin, but Song Mi-jin is increasingly inconsistent with this role and exposes herself and the deception in small details. Song Mi-jin suggests that her friend humiliate Hannel because she deserves to be treated badly. The next morning, Hannel is sent off to the medical center as she feels ill. After class, Ajin notices that her pendant has been stolen and tells Kim about it, after which he reports the incident to the teacher. Song Mi-ji and Shujahi accuse Hannel of stealing it and check her belongings. Upon discovering an item that was given to her by her mother, the bully takes it away and breaks it, for which she gets punched in the face. Song Mi-ji humiliates Hannel and finds Ajin's pendant in her backpack. The whole class laughs at the humiliated thief, but Ajin defends her and takes her to the common room. A little later, Ekin tells Kim that Hannel lost her mother and should have protected her instead of standing by. Afterward, the girl returns to the classroom and exposes the cheating girls. Shutsi couldn't have heard the description of the pendant and known its value if she hadn't seen the jewelry before. Through some clever tricks, Ajin and Kim expose the real thief. Shujahi asked her friends and Song Mi-ji to protect her as it was the overall plan, but the girls turn their backs on her. Realizing that she has been betrayed, Shujahi goes crazy and attacks her classmates with a fire extinguisher, then breaks a window. At the end of the day, Hannel comes to the classroom to pick up her things, but Ajin stops her and has something important to say. A few days before, Ajin makes up her mind and sends a letter to Sun to confess her love for him. The guy has become a famous singer of a popular music group, but he still rereads the girl's letter with trepidation. Not only did she let him know that she loved him, but she also sent her photo without using an editor or visual processing. At this point, Ajin realizes that she is tired of lying and confesses to Hannel that she and Jin are the same person. Hannel doesn't know how to react and thinks the girl was mocking her since they were enemies during the day and texted as best friends at night. Classmates scatter in different directions, not realizing that their conversation was overheard by someone. A couple of days later, Hannel meets Kim only to break up because he doesn't appreciate her as much as he should. Time passes and the students are preparing for their final exams. Kim and Hannel barely socialize and no one pays any attention to Chuki. As for Hannel and Ajin, they are uncomfortable being in the same class because they know too much about each other but don't understand how to continue socializing. Song Mi-jin continues to pretend to be pretty Jin and tries to humiliate Hannel. Unable to stand being treated this way by her friend, Ajin publishes the photo in an attempt to expose the cheater. The friends notice that there is no way their classmate could have made the publication, but she lies, claiming that her mother posted the photo from home. Hannel thanks her for her help, but is not yet ready to forgive Ajin for deceiving her for over a year. Upon returning home, Ajin quarrels with her mother, as the girl believes she had a sister who is not alive. The mother believes that her daughter has lost her mind, but Ajin just feels guilty for what happened when she was a child. She was friends with the real Jean, but had a fight that resulted in her friend getting hit by a car and taking her life. While Ajin is off to her physical education class, someone sneaks into the classroom and steals her phone. After unlocking it, the unknown person gains access to Jin's account. Upon returning to the class, the girl notices the disappearance, as suddenly the school is shocked by the surprising news. It turns out that Jean posted the photo straight from school without filters or editing. This convinces everyone that Song Mi-jin is the real internet beauty. In turn, Ajin, Hannel, and Kim know that it's all a lie and she just stole someone else's phone. Some time ago, Kim went through a severe psychological trauma and talked to a psychologist for a long time, so he knows how hard it is for Ajin in this situation. The girl asks Song Mi-jin to go up to the roof and return the phone, but the cheater is not going to do it and blackmails Ajin. She knows that if their deception is exposed, everyone will hate Ajin because she is less attractive. Kim decides to help her friend and sneaks into the teacher's room to take pictures of the liar's documents. Sung Mi-jin, having gotten hold of Jin's phone, not only posts photos on behalf of Pretty Jin, but also reads her correspondences with Kim, Sung, and Haniel. Subscribers notice changes in behavior and appearance, but do not betray it. Jin is not going to lose everything she has invested in for over a year. Back home, the girl enters social networks via computer and changes the password, then buys a new cell phone. Mi-jin tries to put up a photo and realizes she has lost access to the account, so she blackmails Jin again. Kim invites her friend over to her place to tell her something important. He found the school Mi-jin attended and meets the student she was bullying. The girl is extremely cruel and calculating, like a ruthless maniac. She humiliates people and can go to extreme measures to get what she wants. Kim decides not to tell Jin that Mi-jin likes to find a victim she can drive crazy. It soon becomes clear that this person has to be Haniel, who is attacked from all sides by the imposter Mi-jin. The next morning, Mi-jin pretends to be a friend to Haniel, and the latter begins to naively trust her. Soon the girls become best friends, but Jin knows that Mi-jin is just using Haniel. She demands a meeting on the rooftop and asks for the return of her stolen cell phone, but Mi-jin continues to provoke and blackmail, threatening to show everyone the video Sung sent to Jin. Jin would like to strangle the girl, but is incapable of the crime. Meanwhile, the girl's worried parents seek a doctor for her, suggesting that there is something wrong with her and she needs a good psychologist. Soon Jin, worried about what is happening, really begins to lose her sanity. Preparing for a festival at school, Kim suggests Mi-jin to do a live show, as she is very popular. Seeing pictures of Pretty Jin around, Jin gets very nervous and starts to feel nauseous. Kim tells the girl that the best defense is offense and they should fight back against the blackmailer. Jin realizes that he is right, but doesn't ask his friend for help because he is afraid of being exposed in front of Sian, who has become a famous personality within the music group. A couple days later, it's time for the festival. The clown calls Mi-jin to the stage, but it turns out to be a distraction for Kim. He steals a cell phone, but Mi-jin assumes that Haniel did it and attacks her. Kim defends his ex-girlfriend and smashes the cell phone. Mi-jin could have lost the war as she lost access to her account and phone in Sona's video, but she gets a call from customer service informing her that the video has been restored. She blackmails Jin again, promising to tell everyone about her deception. The girl is ready to be punished for lying, but Song shows up at the school and Mi-jin promises to destroy not only her, but also the singer's reputation. Once at the school, Song first meets with Jin and asks her to talk to him in private. The girl considers herself unworthy and a liar, so she returns the pendant to the guy. At the same time, Mi-jin shows on the big screen a part of the correspondence between Pretty Jin and Song to increase her popularity. She blackmails Jin by promising to show the video, but Song isn't intimidated by it. He turns on the tape and it becomes clear that there is not something bad in there, but just his dance. The guy also confesses his love, and it turns out that he knew from the beginning that Jin and the hottie Jin were the same person. The crowd realizes that Mi-jin has been lying to them all along. Feeling humiliated, the girl declares that the real internet hottie is Jin, but no one believes her. Shuki takes revenge on the bad girl and pours boiling water in her eyes, ruining Mi-jin's appearance forever. In the evening, Sung and Jin meet again and finally kiss, declaring their love for each other. Kim finally realizes that he needs Haniel and goes to her house to tell her about the scar on her shoulder and the psychological trauma she has experienced. Jin's mother ends up in the hospital due to constant stress. Stepfather asks the girl to apologize to her because her mother sincerely loves her and cares a lot. The woman wanted to forget about the fact that she had 2 daughters and erase this pain from her life, so Jin should not blame her. As it turns out, Jean was Jin's older sister who enjoyed popularity. She was once at fault for her sister getting hit by a car and taking her life, but Jin never forgot about her. The social media hottie is a blend of the 2 sisters and was created as a memorial to the deceased. The next morning, Haniel visits Jin and the girls finally reconcile. They are happy as Haniel has Kim and Jin has Sung, and the guys genuinely love them. Realizing that happiness is not about likes or public opinion, Ajin posts her current photo and deletes past entries. Fans are disappointed and write bad comments in anger, but the girl doesn't care. Only 3 people have liked her photo, but that's more than enough, because it's her boyfriend Sung, friend Kim and best friend Hanul, and they are the ones who make her happy.